Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. You are now listening to the Take It to the Bank podcast, the #1 sports podcast. Go! Take it to the bank, take it to the bank, take it to the bank, take it to the bank. Matt coming with the facts, Frac coming with the facts, #1 podcast, ain't no debate about that. Take it to the bank, take it to the bank.
And welcome to Take It to the Bank podcast. Once again, I am your host, Matthew King. It is 10:42 at night. It is later than what we usually expect, but it's late night sad boy hours, right, Frac? And Frac is once again here with me, as you can see. If you are watching on YouTube, Frac, how's life going, my friend?
Good.
Is that it? Just been good?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's been an interesting week. I'll say that much.
Do you have any stories to tell us or anything? Anything good this week?
No.
No stories.
Nope.
Interesting. Anyway, so let me introduce our guest and our new social media guy. Any social media stuff that's posted, just know it's coming from this guy, our friend who we started this. I'll explain in a minute, but it is Peyton Leesky. Peyton, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
Gang.
Yeah, the gang is back.
Yeah.
We just to bring up the past a little bit, make us stir up a little bit. We started a show on the radio, 105, or what is it? It was 101.5 WHCP, and we had a
101.5.
It was 101.5.
I still get notifications when they post episodes, baby. Let me check.
Anyway, it was on a radio station with Mike Starling. Shout out to Mike. We were just juniors in high school or seniors, and we had our own show on. We had our own show on there called. What are you doing?
That's the sound. It was a video. It's called Women Wattage with Annie Watts.
Yeah, on 101.5.
You still get the notifications?
Yeah, bro. I still get the notifications because that's they're my gang.
Anyway, we had a show called Sports Around the Table, and now we are bringing the whole gang back. And so, are we going to talk sports today, or do you guys just want to talk about life or life?
There's a lot of talking about sports wise.
There's a lot to talk about too. Let me talk some stuff real quick.
Okay.
Let me talk my stuff real quick, young man.
Hold on, before you start, I think Peyton needs to start off with his most embarrassing moment.
Yeah,
I think that needs to happen first. So Peyton, let's hear your embarrassing moment. You have been on here before, but you haven't given us your embarrassing moment, so we'd like to hear it.
Okay, so recently, I guess it's not that recent. It was 3 years ago now. Showed up to pitch at a travel ball game, and this might not be like super embarrassing for other people, but for me it was because I love baseball and I love playing it. I showed up without my outfielder's glove, which I normally wore on the mound, and I had to pitch with a first baseman's glove. So I felt like an idiot. It was pretty embarrassing.
That was stupid.
No, I give it to him. That
was. Oh, don't give him the guest benefit. That was stupid, young man. You need to get ready with your embarrassing moments.
Anything embarrassing? Yeah. Peyton's in our military, so thank you.
I don't know.
For serving our. All right. Anyway, so let's get started on some sports because we love sports. This week for the NFL, and Peyton is a Ravens fan along with me, and we had a hard weekend. I want to start off with our favorite teams, with the Ravens and Eagles. Let's start off with the Ravens. Peyton, starting with you, how do you feel about the Ravens and their 40-25 loss to the Browns? And what do you think about the defense, and what do the Ravens need to do to bounce back this week?
Last week was tough. It was tough, especially like being down here. There's so many Browns fans, and it's super irritating. It was tough. No, They're all from Cleveland. They're from Cleveland. I'm in the military. They're from Cleveland. So they're legit.
Wow.
But the defense, that was the big problem. And then that has to be fixed immediately. They've given up over 1,000 yards the past 2 weeks. Granted, we did play the Chiefs. That's a really good offense, but still no excuse. 1,000 yards in 2 weeks in the NFL, especially when we had a top-ranked defense last year. I know I did. I kind of underplayed the losses of Terrell Suggs, C.J. Mosley, and Eric Weddle's leadership. It's tough. And then Zadarius Smith going to Green Bay, too. I think we could use that on the pass rush because right now the defense is not looking very well. And obviously the injuries to Jimmy Smith, Tavon Young aren't helping as well. But I'm tired of everybody blaming Lamar. I see so many people blaming Lamar for this loss. He put up 25. Defense gave up 40.
For whoever is blaming Lamar Jackson, let me just put this into perspective for you. He's the only quarterback in the league who is averaging over 330 yards per game and also averaging over 60 yards rushing per game. And he has the number one offense in the league right now, whether you know it or not. He is leading to the number one offense. So you can't blame Lamar. His stats were not great, but I also he only had 8 passes in the first half. That's a coaching problem. But Frac, what do you think about the Ravens? I know you picked them as the AFC North winner. Do you still feel the same way?
Here's what I think about this game. It was a tough game. It was a rough game for the Ravens. I still have a lot of confidence in the Ravens, especially against how well they played against Kansas City. And in my opinion, I know that Kansas City is a way better team than Cleveland. So it's just a matter of fact of how you put into it, like perspective-wise. Just like teams always have very off games, you know. And this is what your off game. I mean, you're going to split the Browns. That's going to be no problem. I mean, you're probably going to win the next game. But it's just rough seeing how your defense was getting broken down. I mean, Nick Chubb had 3 touchdowns in that freaking game, and I think over 100 yards rushing. Man, looked like a top 5 tier running back. So I feel like everybody's talking about the pass rush, but I mean, and your quarterbacks too. But it's not like you held Odell to only 2 catches for 20 yards.
But the problem. See, I was just about to go into that. Jarvis Landry had 8 catches for 167 yards. He averaged 20 yards per catch. I mean, this is a problem because Tavon Young has been hurt. He undeniably at this point, I'm saying Tavon Young is the best slot corner in football. After watching these last couple of weeks and watching last year's tape, after watching the defense last year compared to this year, Tavon Young was the center. Him and Eric Weddle were the centerpiece of this defense, whether we know it or not. But Frac, you still think the Ravens will be fine? They'll figure it out.
Yeah, I feel like Jim Harbaugh needs to get better with his play calling as well.
Yo, Jim's the coach for Michigan. He needs to do a better job too.
John,
you're right.
I'm
on both of the brothers.
I'm not saying you're wrong because you're technically right.
I'm so sorry, bro. I've been staying up so long. I haven't been getting a lot of sleep. I'm like sleep deprived. Obviously, look at me. Not the cutest right now. I need my beauty nap, you know. But no, but I mean, John Harbaugh just needs to get better with his play calls. I mean, I got a picture with this man. I thought some of my greatness will be rubbed up on him when I put my arm around him.
I think you're the problem. I think the issue's you.
Are we forgetting Frac got picked by the Patriots? I don't know.
Oh yeah, Frac did get drafted by the Padres. And I'm pretty sure an NBA team's coming up soon. I'm hoping Oklahoma City takes you.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I'm just the greatest of all time.
Look at that train wreck.
Hey, we're not getting into basketball right now.
Look at me and John.
I mean, he's my back. Is he your background though?
You're a true Ravens fan.
But is he your background though?
Why would he be my background?
Because he's a better coach than Doug Peterson.
Okay.
Anyway, my thoughts about the Ravens. The defense is bad. One underrated thing that we're not talking about is the linebacker. I don't know what is going on.
What just happened?
I have no idea what's going on.
That was my bad. I can't see Matt, and I try to fix it.
What did you do, Peyton?
accidentally hit share screen. Oh wait, it's still
Okay.
doing it?
Oh, there we go. Perfect.
I'm
So,
scared. I saw
my bad.
so this has been a rough.
myself.
This has been a rough start.
Hey,
I'm
my bad, my
scared.
bad.
I'm scared.
Anyway, a underrated thing about the Ravens, their linebackers, they stink. Peanut, which is Patrick Owasu, he has been god awful playing the Mike linebacker position, and next to him is Kenny Young. He's also out of position. He's usually a Mike, and they're usually switched. I don't know why Kenny Young isn't playing more than Mike, but the Ravens signed 2 players. It was who was it, Peyton? It was
LJ Fort,
LJ Fort and
Josh Bynes,
shout out Josh Barnes for last tackle in the
Oh,
Super
you all
Bowl for
signed
the
LJ
Ravens.
Fort?
Yeah,
Super Bowl champ.
He was an Eagle. He was an Eagle. LJ Fort
Yeah.
was an Eagle, and then we caught him.
So I think those guys, I think it's great that the Ravens recognize it and they're not just hiding it and saying, oh, we're fine with what we got. And they cut Tim Williams. I mean, they're doing things to fix this. And I respect that. I think they'll figure out the defense. I think Tony Jefferson needs to do a better job. Earl Thomas needs to make some plays. I think it's just all around we need Brandon Williams back and Jimmy Smith. And I think we'll start to figure it out and all. But Frac, we were wrong, man. We said the Eagles would lose, and they showed up on Thursday night, and they won me a lot of money. I took a bet that one of the teams would score in the first 6 minutes, hit, and that the Eagles plus 4.5 they hit. So shout out to the Eagles. And Frac, I know you're excited to talk about it. The Eagles are one game out of first place in their division after starting 1 and 2. They're right back in track. Hey, one game at a time. One game at a time. So go ahead. What do you think about this performance? And do you think that the Eagles are going to start picking it up?
Our offense might be one of the best offenses in the league right now. And let me tell you why. When you have your defense giving up, letting a player get 174 yards in receiving, which is Mr. Devontae Adams.
Top 3 wide receiver in football.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And when you also have a defense that is very injured.
He had 10 catches for 180. Oh, my God.
My bad, 180. Yes. Yes, he torched us. And Darby didn't even play that game. So
Darby.
Yeah, but Darby didn't play it. So
I know. I thought he was playing. It was Avonte
That's
Maddox.
an idiot.
Maddox played like dog.
You got hurt. Yeah, and he got hurt. Yeah. So now our healthy quarterbacks are Rasul Douglas, Orlando Sandrick, who we just signed, and our practice squad quarterback, Craig James, right? Yeah, Craig James, who actually won the game for us, who tipped the ball, and then Nigel Bradham caught it. Back on the offense, we looked awesome. Jordan Howard had a phenomenal game. 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 receiving. And then maybe flip-flop. I don't know. One or the other. Carson Wentz looked really – he looked like he played really well.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think Wentz played incredible. I don't. Well, I think he played good enough.
Exactly.
That's
what I'm going to say. To be a team like Green Bay. And that's a pretty great accomplishment.
You have to admit, though, at the end of the game, Green Bay kind of I don't know what they were doing.
They scared me.
Well, they've sucked on the second half of the whole year. Like the second half of each game, they played like crap. But that takes nothing away from the Eagles. Like they play a good game. They play a good game, and
they play a really good game. Our pass rushing is getting a lot better now. Our quarterback is still an issue. It's just that we made it through. I said Detroit was going to be a must-win game, and obviously we lost that game. But now I feel a lot better about that loss in Detroit because of how they put Kansas City to the ropes and almost won that game. So Detroit's for real, even without Darius Slay. That's crazy. They almost won that game without
Detroit's legit. Let's not sleep on Detroit anymore. They're a good team.
That's a good division.
Yes. And I feel like with that win against Green Bay, now we have a kind of an easier game coming up against New York. I feel like we're ready to get back on track. Sean Jackson should be back soon, and our offense should be taken to a new level. And we just need to make sure that we trade for Jalen Ramsey. I mean, we have to. We have to.
It's not happening. But anyway,
Yeah, you're not going to get
Give him
him.
2 first-round picks.
well,
Give him 2 first-round picks.
well, here's the thing. There was rumors that I don't mean to bring up the Ravens again, but there was rumors that the Ravens offered 2 first-round picks and Hayden Hurst and still didn't get a yes. So if that's true, it's going to be hard. And also, the Jaguars owner just came out today. We'll talk about this in a little bit, saying that Jalen Ramsey will not be traded. But he said this twice now. This is the second time he's gone on record and said that we are not trading Jalen Ramsey. But Peyton, what do you take away from this Eagles' big win in Green Bay?
I think that was big for their season. Even though it was this early in the year, they fall to 1-3. I mean, Dallas lost, but it's still Dallas is they're still a good team. It's still a good it'll still be a tough division to win if you do fall to 1-3 with the Cowboys at the top. And I mean that was a really big win for the Eagles, especially going forward. And like he said, they're playing New York this weekend. They should win this game, I'm gonna say. So I mean, it's and with the Cowboys loss, they keep pace with them, so they're still in it. They're still one of the top teams in the NFC, regardless of the first few games that they played.
Peyton, what about the defense? I think there's a lot of problems, and for some reason, Frac's camera keeps messing up, and we're just going to ignore that. Frac, shake your laptop. Maybe that'll work. Oh, yeah.
All I see is Frac. I don't know where Matt's at.
I don't know, but it might show up on YouTube. So, anyway, one thing the DB group, they need to trade for somebody. Maybe Chris Harris Jr.
Yeah, they have to add somebody.
I think Chris Harris Jr. would fit great with the Eagles. I don't think they're good enough to win a Super Bowl with this defense. I think that's the number one problem. I think the Cowboys are still the best team in the division. I don't think Carson Wentz off of, I've hated on him, but on PFF, he's rated the top quarterback this year, which I'm not a big PFF guy, but he's made some good throws. I think he's been too inconsistent and not doing enough. But I expect a lot out of somebody who was a MVP candidate 2 years ago. So I think that if Jordan Howard can come along and Miles Sanders, they combined it for 140 yards this weekend or on Thursday, and then having great production from Alshon Jeffrey, Zach Ertz, and then adding Deshaun Jackson in a little bit. I think that will honestly change their season, and I think they'll be in it for the wild card. I'm still going to take the Cowboys to win that division. So another team in the NFC North, not Green Bay, but the Vikings. They didn't look great. They lost again, and Kirk Cousins did not look good. But he hasn't looked good at all, to say the least, and you can tell that the Vikings have no trust in him. Granted, they played the good Packers defense. He was 27 of 36 for 233, 0 touchdowns. Peyton, and also we'll talk about this in a second, but Adam Thielen complained a lot about Kirk Cousins after the game. What do you think about Kirk Cousins?
I think he's the most overpaid and overrated quarterback in football.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you have one of the best wide receiver duos in the league. You still have Kyle Rudolph, who's reliable at tight end, and you have a good run game. You should be able to throw the ball downfield. Was that Adam Thielen who said they need to throw the ball downfield at some point?
Yeah.
Or was it Diggs? He's right. I mean, he hasn't been able to get them the ball. Granted, they did play the Bears defense, but you put up 6 points. I mean, and you're supposed to be one of the top teams in the NFC. I don't think that – I don't see the Vikings doing much with Kirk Cousins at quarterback. I think there has to be Stephon Diggs. There's been a lot of stuff on Twitter talking about him possibly getting traded. And if that happens, then you who else do you have? Just Adam Thielen and Dalvin Cook, and that's
my problem is I don't think they should trade Stephon Diggs. Let's just not blow it up yet. I mean, they have all these players that they're just a quarterback away. I mean, let's not blow the thing up just yet. Frac, what do you think about Kirk Cousins and this Minnesota Vikings team overall?
I feel like our grandmothers, our fathers, our mothers, our dead dogs that we missed for 12 years now could have a better throwing season with the weapons that Kirk Cousins had. You know, like Kirk Cousins should be having such a good year this year. Dalvin Cook is one of the best running backs in the league this year, and then you have two of the best wide receivers in the league. You have a very decent tight end in Kyle Rudolph, and then another young one and Iv Smith Jr. Iv Smith
Irv,
Jr. Whatever his name.
wait. Irv Smith,
The
their
other-
tight end that they took in the second or third round from Alabama.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Like you have all this weapons, and you can't do anything. I saw this this thing on Twitter about I guess one of them smart trash cans. You know, it's like it moves to like the right place, and then someone says it's when Kirk Cousins is trying to get out of the pocket.
Mm.
So I have a question, Frac. So you were saying that like basically anybody could play quarterback for that team right now with those weapons.
Yes.
So Joe Flacco could do it, right?
Yes.
So,
Yep.
dude, honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
feel like
I think Minnesota would be 3-1 with Joe Flacco at quarterback.
they'll be
That's it.
4-0 with Casey Keenum.
Dude, they
They
should have
had-
kept. Let's talk about that. I think they should have kept Case Keenum. I think
Yeah,
that
I think
was
he
the
fit that
dumbest move
system.
ever.
I mean, yeah, exactly. He fit in the system well. They took him to an NFC Championship, even though we whipped that. But anyway, yeah, we heard we out here. We out here. It's 11 o'clock in the night, and I'm in the quiet lounge yelling. Who's
Yeah,
going to
it's
stop
those
me?
hours. It's those hours.
Baby.
It ain't sad boy hours. This is
It's hype
hours.
hours, baby. Oh, no, I'm dying.
You choking? Are you good? You might want to call the
Nelson
campus
Aguilar?
ambulance.
Yeah, I told them I'm coughing up a lung. My lung could play better than Kirk Cousins.
Oh
So,
God! Wow!
yeah, baby. Anybody can play. My pinky toe could play better, baby. Come on now.
Wow. Okay. So with the Vikings, I think their biggest mistake was getting rid of Case Keenum. Kirk Cousins wasn't good. He showed flashes of being good with the Redskins, but when it's big moments in divisional games that you need to win, Kirk Cousins isn't your guy. You have Stephon Diggs, you have Adam Thielen, Kyle Rudolph, Dalvin Cook, and a decent offensive line, a great defense, and you still can't win. Which is kind of wild. Tell them to add me on Snap. What they do with that?
What they do, baby.
If you can't, sorry, I'm so used to everybody listening or watching on YouTube, but Frac has a paper that has people's Snapchats on it for some reason. But I think the Vikings are going to. I don't think Stephon Diggs gets traded. Do you guys think that Stephon Diggs gets traded? Peyton, start off with you. Do you think it happens?
I don't think it happens. He might. I don't know if he wants it to happen or not. I just think it's people like you said earlier. It's just starting to get blown up. People are just starting to take it out of context. I don't think he's going to get traded. I think he'll be a Viking. I don't know if he'll be his whole career or not. But they have to. They gave Kirk Cousins $84 million guaranteed. I don't know. Like I think a lot of people, I think most people say that they have to change quarterbacks, but you gave them all
where
that money.
where that boy Stephon Diggs from, Peyton? Hey, where that boy
He's from Maryland. You already know.
That boy from Maryland. Hey,
yeah, you already know.
He
should be a Raven. He should be a Raven. We should not have passed up.
We really took Bashard Perryman over that man.
Oh God,
that shit hurted.
He's so terrible. Bashard Perryman was so bad, and then you have Diggs. He was a very good
one of the highest paid wide receivers in the league now. Frac, do you think Stephon gets traded? I saw Luke Schultz, one of our good friends of the podcast, said that he said that Stephon Diggs should be a Bill, and it looks like that's starting to heat up a little bit. Does the Diggs trade happen?
It's not going to happen. The GM just came out saying that he's not going to get traded at all. They said that he is inactive for he was put on. He has non-football injury. It was some personal issues happening. So I feel like he's still going to be a Viking. I feel like they just need to cut Kirk Cousins, take their losses, pick a quarterback in the next draft.
Does he play against the Giants on Sunday?
Who, Kirk? I mean, I don't even know who the
Stephon
fact.
Diggs.
Yeah, does
No,
Diggs play?
Do you think he's gonna
I
play?
don't know. Think about it. I mean, it's Wednesday. Unless if he practiced Thursday, I don't know.
Well,
I
no,
really
it's
don't know.
usually if you don't practice all week and you come on Friday, you're more than likely to play if you practice Friday. That's what's been happening with Mark Andrews, for the past couple of weeks. And I think if Diggs doesn't practice, I mean, I wonder if he'll demand the trade. I mean, he just got paid this offseason. Like, how
That's
do you
what I'm
We're seeing
demand
saying.
a
that a
I
lot
trade
don't
in
after
know.
professional
that?
sports.
Huh?
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys doing that in pro sports now. It wouldn't be a surprise to me if he
Yeah,
did.
but what do you guys think about that? Like this trade stuff that's like we've seen in the NBA since LeBron basically went to the Heat. We've seen a lot of people
Oh,
demand
okay.
trade. LeBron changed the league there. Do you think that's what
Yeah,
happens
I got you.
in the NFL?
Yeah, I got you.
Like Peyton?
I think that's what they're
Right.
starting to do now because if they're not getting paid like these NBA guys, because a lot of them are seeing that and they're like, I want to make that money,
Yeah.
because they think I guess they're in the same category when it comes to what roles they play on their team. But I don't think that Stephon Diggs plays a role like Paul George for
I
his
just thought
Yeah,
I
team.
was
we
ready
don't
to get
talk
in
about Paul
trouble.
George on this
I
podcast.
just thought I was ready to
Hey,
get in
Paul
trouble.
George looked good in that Clipper
Two
uniform. I'm not gonna
RA, yo,
lie.
shut up, shut your mouth. Two RAs just walked into this room that I do my podcast, like I do the podcast in, and I thought like, oh my god, I'm ready to get in trouble. Like, and they said, oh no, you're going to get this Tubman token. It's like something for the housing,
And
and
then they
like if
told
we
you that
have a
fucking
ton.
Bucks suck.
Did you ask
But
Peyton? Because I didn't ask him.
I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, we
Shut up.
really don't care.
Shut up, shut up.
Yeah.
Why do you keep showing
Anyway,
that? Anyway, let's Frack. What do you think about this demanding trade things from NFL stars? This is a new thing that's happening this year, and it's coming more into effect. Do you like it, or do you think it needs to be, or do you think owners and GMs should like hold off and be like, no, you're our player, like we do what we want?
I mean, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I mean, I feel like it's a bad situation because it makes the richer get richer. I mean, the rich get richer. I think it's whatever. I don't know. That's how maybe how the saying goes, but like
I
it's
agree.
whatever.
It's like they're all about the money. There's no loyalty now with
Exactly.
the team.
It's all about
You
the
saw that in
money.
Oklahoma City when Durant left, and then he left Golden State again, or he left Golden State. It's just I don't.
I mean,
It's so
but let's be honest here. If you guys were professional athletes and someone offers you $100 million instead of $80 million, which one are you guys going to take? We all know
what
what
doesn't
we
matter about
do.
the
If
what doesn't
someone,
matter
But
about the
also,
contents. Like
what if you're winning titles? What if you're winning championships? Obviously, Jalen Ramsey is not doing that with Jacksonville, but they didn't. Shad Khan come out and say that he's willing to make him the highest paid corner in the league. So maybe for him, it's not all about money. He wants to play on a team that can contend.
yeah, which isn't a bad thing. I don't disagree with that. I think they've lost respect. I think that Jalen Ramsey just doesn't want to be a part of that
After that,
trash
too.
organization. I mean, let's be honest. The Jags have been trash for years, and it looks like they're a long way away from being good. But Gardner Minshew is the GOAT. Already the best quarterback of all
He's
time.
surprising.
Garner
Yeah.
Minshew's my dad.
We'll
thought it
talk
was-
about him and Foles in a minute, but another AFC North team I wanted to get to was Cleveland. Obviously, we talked about with they beat the Ravens 40-25. Baker Mayfield 20 of 30, 342 with one touchdown, only one pick. He was nearly flawless. Odell Beckham was held to two catches for 20 yards. Marlon Humphrey put the straps on him. And Jarvis Landry had a career day, the most yards he's ever had with 167. What do you guys think about the Browns? Are they going to get back on track? They have a hard schedule coming up, and they have to play the Patriots, Seattle, and this weekend, I got to look at who they play this weekend. But
They
it's
play the 49ers.
the 49ers, who are one of the last three remaining. Peyton, what do you think about this Browns team? Are they legit? Are they going to start to figure this out?
I think if they can win one or two out of the next three, because they have the Niners on the road, they come back to Cleveland for Seattle, and then go on the road to New England. And San Francisco is number one in total defense right now. So that's going to be a good test for the Browns offense, see what Baker Mayfield can do and stop all the critics talking about how overrated he is with all these interceptions, and see if Nick Chubb can be consistent and, keep running the ball like he did against us. I'd like to see them lose. I don't want to say that they're going to stay on track. That's just the Ravens fan in me. But I don't know. I still think that the Ravens are going to win the division. it might not be 11-5. It might be 10-6, 9-7. I think the two top teams, one of them is going to finish 9-7 in the North this year. I don't see the Browns putting up that 40 points on the Niners like they did to us. I don't see them going in there and beating them either.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll drop the next game.
Mm. So do you think that? So you don't think they win the division? You still got the.
No,
Do
I
you,
still got the Ravens. If they get the defense straight, it's going
yeah,
to be the
they
Baltimore
have
Ravens.
they have a tough task coming up. Frac, what do you think about the Browns? Do you think that maybe they turn the ship around?
Look at my face. Look at my face.
That's the
See
cap
it?
face. That's the cap.
Anyway, that's like cap face, baby. Why? No, the Browns are no. This is a fluke. This was here we go, big game. No, they're still going to finish 8-8. They're still going to finish 7-9. Like I said, they're not going to do well. This is just one good game, only one good game, and that's it. That's all I gotta say. I don't care what
their other
people
win was
say.
against the Jets.
Exactly. The Jets, JETSS, we suck. I mean, like, come on, that like
JTS, we suck.
Hey, they do. They do.
That's no cap.
I mean, when you have a quarterback that could probably scrub Carson Wentz's feet after practices playing quarterback, I mean, it's just like I don't know, it's just like Baker. I mean, I'm not gonna say Baker's overrated. I feel like Baker is a very good quarterback, but I feel like this team is still too young. I mean, I said that watch out for them next year and the year after, but not this year. I still want to stand by my opinion, my prediction. They're going to be finishing 7-9 or 8-8 and miss the playoffs, and now they're going to be freaking out.
Well, I think the Browns kind of figure it out. I don't know if they'll win the division. I'm still stuck. I can't decide right now who's going to win, but they made a statement. I think they're going to turn the ship a little bit. I do think that they're going to get a wake-up call this weekend against the best defense in the league and the 49ers. I like the 49ers team and the 49ers at home. After a bye, I'm taking the 49ers. One of the most interesting games this weekend, though, was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the LA Rams. Which was
Who
really
told you? Who told you?
I was surprised.
No.
Yeah, you were right about
that.
They put 55 on the Rams. They won 55-40. Jameis Winston went 28 of 41 for 385, 4 touchdowns, only
I
one
told you
pick.
it was going to be a
And
shootout,
Goff,
boy.
The most interesting part to me was Goff went 45 of 68. I haven't heard a quarterback throw 68 times in a long time for 2 touchdowns and 3 picks. Peyton, what's up with Jared Goff? What's up? We'll get to Buccaneers in a second, see if they're legit. But this Rams team hasn't looked good since the start of the year.
I don't even know what to say about Jared Goff right now. I've liked him since he came out the draft. Everybody said he was going to be a bust after his first year, and I was on his bandwagon. But right now, I don't know what is going on with Jared Goff. He's 4th in the league in pass yards, but it's not looking like that on the score.
Don't look at just stats, man. He threw for 517 yards. I mean, and he was really bad in the game.
No, I don't know. Honestly,
this Rams team's really weird.
They're coming, they're coming off an NFC title, and then they're getting blown, or they're giving up 55 points to the Buccaneers. Who expected that? Other than Frac called, Jameis and a shootout, but.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have
thought Jameis Winston? I know. Who would have thought Jameis Winston would be in a shootout with Jared Goff? I wish that was said to me before the game so I could have watched it because I only watched the highlights. Yeah, the Bucs.
I told you that Jameis
Winston.
Wait, before Frac, before you go to the Bucs, talk about Jared Goff for me. What do you think about this Rams team? Oh wow.
I mean, I feel like Tampa Bay's defense is. I mean, even though it was a very high-scoring game, Tampa Bay's defense made the right plays at the right time. It's very, very hard to win a game with that, and you have 3 interceptions, except if your name's Matt Ryan and you beat the Eagles. But anyway, I feel like Jared Goff he's been out of sync this year. He really has. And I feel like hopefully he gets back on focus, and he's a really good quarterback, obviously, and hopefully, I just don't know. I mean, he has the weapons, he has everything. I mean, but I feel like he's getting dependent on too much. 60 times throwing the freaking ball, 60, baby boy. We're talking about Kobe shooting out in his final game. Like, I mean,
Talking
like
about Kobe, that bitch, Kobe.
He shot like 65 times in his final game, bro. And you're going to pass 60 times against the Buccaneers because you're scared about running against them. That's
They have a
terrible.
good run defense.
They do. My
the
boy Shaq Barnett
he's an
is one
animal.
of the
He's an
9
animal.
sacks, baby.
Well,
9
well,
sacks.
the issue is that they came out and they ran the ball 11 times the entire game. I mean, what kind of game plan is this? You have one of the top 3 running backs in the league. I don't think Todd Gurley's healthy. I don't think he'll ever be the same player again, which is sad to see. That boy from Maryland. I was hoping that boy. Thanks for showing us love, Frac, on the screen. If you guys are watching on YouTube, Frac showing us love. And Todd Gurley ran the ball 5 times for 16 yards, and Jared Goff threw 68 times, and he might have had 500 yards, but he had 3 crucial interceptions. And did you know that Jared Goff has fumbled his last 12 games? A lot of people don't
That's my
know.
reaction. That's my reaction.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a laughing emoji popping up on the screen. But yeah, I mean, he has the receiving core. He has the running back. Just Sean McVay was not good this game. And I expect them to figure it out, but they might need a legit number 2 running back. They might have to pay 2 running backs in the next coming years. So last game that I want to talk about from week 4 is the Cowboys and Saints. The Saints are 2-0 with Teddy Bridgewater. Everybody was writing off the Saints after Drew Brees' injury. The Cowboys are coming in here 3-0, beating the 3 worst teams in the league. Just to say that Dak Prescott's looking like he's looking to get paid, and they come out and lay an egg. Peyton, are the Saints the team to beat in the NFC?
Right now, I'm going to say yeah. If they just beat the Dallas Cowboys, who are 3-0 without Drew Brees. Now, granted, I don't think the Cowboys didn't play anybody really until New Orleans. But, I mean, still, Teddy Bridgewater has the past 2 weeks, he's done enough for the Saints to win. The defense has been holding up. So, and if he keeps, I mean, you give the ball to Kamara, you have Mike Thomas out there, and Bridgewater's doing his job. If he keeps doing this and he keeps it up, the Saints, when they get Drew Brees back, I think they're the favorite, and I think that they're the favorite right now.
Frac, the Saints, what do you think?
I mean, I agree with that statement. I feel like the Saints are probably the team to beat. I mean, I feel like it's between. I mean, yeah, I mean it is. I mean, there's not really anybody else I will say that's as good as the Saints in the NFC, even with Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater is a good quarterback. I mean, I don't know, like, they're winning games with Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah, he's a starting quarterback in this league. He could probably start and probably maybe on 10 teams, you know? So it's like,
Well,
well, I mean,
Cap.
Do not say the
name it.
Giants. Do not say the
I'm
Giants.
not saying the Giants.
Daniel
Washington,
Jones is the best quarterback in the NFC.
okay, ready?
That is-
Washington, Jets, Washington, Jets, Minnesota, Miami,
Philly.
Denver, not Philly. Shut up.
Wait,
I
the
feel like-
Jets? Did you say Jets?
Yeah.
What about Sam Darnold?
What about when Sam Darnold comes back?
I mean, I feel like Teddy Bridgewater might be a better
All right.
quarterback. Oh my God! Oh, now
I'm
we're saying
leaving.
Sam Darnold's
I'm
elite.
leaving, yo.
Now we're
I'm
saying
going.
Sam Darnold's
I'm
elite.
going.
Man,
I'm going, man.
get hit with this. Get hit with this. Get hit
You
with
got to give
this.
these guys a chance, man.
Man, you gotta stop with that, dog. Like Sam Darnold has so much more upside than Teddy Bridgewater right now. Stop acting like this guy is like super good or good enough to start for 10 teams. He went 23 of 30 for 193 yards, no touchdowns and 1 interception. He has 1 touchdown, 2 games, and 2 interceptions in 2 games.
So Peter.
Let's not.
He's playing on a good team, so he's
Yeah,
It's not like he's playing for some.
This Saints defense might be the best in the league, and I think we all overlooked them. Marshawn Lattimore put on a show against Amari Cooper on Sunday night. And I mean, Malcolm Brown was great. Kiko Alonso, that was a kind of a silent trade that they made for this summer from Miami, but it's worked out well. He's played great. Eli Apple. I mean, this team is stacked and they're putting it all together. Teddy Bridgewater is doing enough on offense to get enough points to win. But Alvin Kamara is doing it all. I mean, this guy's catching, receiving the ball. He's the best player on the team. And add him with a top 5 wide receiver and Mike Thomas. I mean, I think this team's the best, and when they get Drew Brees, it's going to be hard for anybody to stop them. My question is, can they finish? Past 2 years, they couldn't finish. They had heartbreaking losses. I think this year that they turn it around and finally get what they think they deserve, because they should have been in the Super Bowl last year, as they say. The year before, they had that Stephon Diggs catch. I mean, it's just been a tough break for the Saints, and I think this year they're going to try to turn that around. All right, let's move on to week 2.
What?
I mean, not week 2. Good Lord. We're in week 5 already, man. This crazy. We're over a quarter. This will be over a quarter of the way through the year already, which is nuts.
Good job.
So fast.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah, I did math there.
Good job.
Let's start off with our teams. Peyton, Ravens defense hasn't looked good, man. But we need you're not working this weekend, so I think our luck will come back when we can FaceTime before the game and halftime. We have like the pregame ritual thing, so I think this is looking good for us against Steelers. What do you think?
We're at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the only reason we lost.
We're at Pittsburgh, but it's Steeler week. It don't matter what happened the week before. I mean, we saw it in 2015 when we were absolutely garbage. We swept them. It's going to be a
Mallett, baby.
Ryan Mallett. It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters if Big Ben's out. The Steelers are going to play the same way that they would if he was playing against the Ravens. I think it's going to be a dogfight. I think it's going to be a good game, but I'm picking the Ravens. I think they have to bounce back after 2 straight losses. You've got to beat a division opponent. The Browns are already 1-0 in the division. We're already 0-1. So getting a division win is huge right now. And we have 2 of them coming up. So this is definitely a big one. And the Bengals, as bad as they are, that's a game that they should probably – they might need to win. So I'm taking Baltimore.
Okay. Frac, who are you taking in this matchup and why?
The more. Come on, baby.
Rep that Baltimore. That boy from Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm the closest one to Baltimore right now, baby. But yeah. I've been on that bus down, so it's whatever.
All right, tell me who you got, Frac.
I got Baltimore. I mean, I think this should be a pretty easy game for them. This is probably my lock of the week, actually, will be Baltimore against Pittsburgh. I feel like Baltimore's defense will turn around and show what's up to Mason Randolph, whatever. Randolph will plug twice.
Rudolph. But yeah,
it is Rudolph. That's why I said
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Yeah. That's your place quarterback for Steelers. Yeah.
And whenever you saw him,
okay,
you would say it glows.
All right. So I'm taking Baltimore in this matchup. It's going to be close. Whatever the spread is, I know Baltimore might be like -10 or something. Take the Steelers in that. It's always close. I think the Steelers lead the all-time series by 1 game. So they're always decided by 10 or less points mostly. And I think that Mason Rudolph's going to have a decent game. Let's not be like so blind to the fact that the Ravens defense is really bad. And he didn't throw the ball a lot deep downfield, but what the Ravens struggle with? They have struggled with short to intermediate passes and screens, and that's what the Steelers are running a lot. Their defense is better. My thing is I think Baltimore is going to hold the ball enough on time of possession, and I think that they're going to, just because it's Steeler week, they're going to figure it out as a defense and make a statement that this team is a defensive team, always has been, and that's why I'm taking the Ravens. I think they're just more prepared and just more healthy, even though they're not healthy. It's just that the Steelers have way too many missing pieces. So I am taking the Ravens. I don't like to take the Ravens because they always lose when I take them. But Steeler Week, baby, I'm excited. Frack, I mean, I don't really want to go over this game, but it's the Eagles, so sure. Eagles, Jets, Peyton, go ahead.
I'm taking the Eagles. I mean, they're playing. It's like a freaking community college football team with the Jets. They have Le'Veon Bell. That's really it. And Luke Falk's not going to beat the Eagles. I'm just going to. That's all I really say. The Eagles are going to win by a comfortable margin.
Yeah, Frack. Don't talk about the whole team. Just give me your pick because I know you're going to go over like the whole thing.
Well, it's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, baby. Grew up in West Philadelphia, born and raised, baby. Philly.
Bar.
Yeah, baby. I'm Will Smith, baby.
All right, so you're taking Philly.
Like real quick, my MLB playoff bracket is not broken right now, so I'm about to win $250,000.
Didn't you take the Brewers last night?
No, I picked the Nationals to win, and I thought it was going to break last night.
Oh wow. So Frack, who are you taking? Eagles?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles too. I think that the Eagles defense is going to look like a top 5 defense after this week, as long as they stop Le'Veon Bell. So another game that a lot of people might not talk about, but I think is interesting, is the Jaguars Panthers. You have Gardner Minshew against wow, I can't even think of his name.
Kyle
Allen. So that's an interesting matchup. Kyle Allen's 2-0, and Gardner Minshew, I don't think has lost a game yet either as a starter. So are you going with Peyton the GOAT, Gardner Minshew? Or are you going with some guy named Kyle Allen? I mean, come on.
This is actually kind of tough.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's at Carolina.
You've got 2 backs coming off pretty big games and 2 young quarterbacks going at it that were not expected to be starters this season or maybe ever. I think I'm going to go with the Jags. I think they're going into Carolina, right?
Yep.
I think they'll go in there, and I think Gardner Minshew is going to do enough for them to win. I think Leonard Fournette, they got to keep feeding him. Just make sure, give him consistent carries like they need to be consistent with giving him the ball. So I think they'll keep that up this week. And I think the Jags win. I'm going to go by 7 points. I think they'll win by a touchdown.
Okay. Sure. Frack, you going with the GOAT Gardner Minshew too?
You know it, baby. He's going for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
So that's your hot take of the week.
Yeah, baby.
Okay. I'm taking Carolina. I'm going with Carolina. And the reason for that is, did you guys know that Carolina has the number 1 pass defense in the league, and they didn't even have their best cornerback playing last week in Jackson. He comes back this week, I believe. I like Carolina's defensive front 7 with Gerald McCoy and company, and the linebackers with Luke and all of those guys, and obviously their DB's playing so well.
Sounds like you're talking about a fraternity.
Luke Kuechly.
Jackson's coming back next week.
So I think their defense dominates Gardner Minshew and puts Kyle Allen in great position to score. I think that's the reason why. And I'm taking Carolina's defense over Jacksonville, and Jacksonville doesn't have Jalen Ramsey playing. So I like Kyle Allen this week, even though I think Gardner Minshew is the best quarterback to ever play the game.
Well, because of my vibes.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this one is also kind of interesting. Khalil Mack goes back to Oakland. He said he's been waiting for this game for a while, for almost 2 years now. Obviously, Oakland traded Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack has more sacks than Oakland does since being traded. He has just as many forced fumbles and only 1 less touchdown than Oakland's defense, which is insane to think about. Peyton, are you taking Chicago or Oakland? And Mitchell Trubisky is out. So
it's tough, but I'm going to go with the Bears, even though Trubisky's not playing. Chase Daniel actually did not look very bad last week against Minnesota, and they have a good defense. And the Bears have a great defense. I think Khalil Mack's the best defensive player in football right now, better than Aaron Donald.
Wow.
Yeah, the way he's been playing, I think that he's a much better defensive player as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm going to go with the Bears. I think Khalil Mack, like he said, he's been waiting for this game. I think this game's going to light a fire under him, and he's going to go after Derek Carr. Like, he said they were friends, but I think he's going to get after him this weekend, and I think he's going to get to him a few times.
Okay. Frac?
The Bears. The Bears.
Okay, why are you taking the Bears?
I mean, okay. So I'll compare this. Let's say you had a choice. You have a pit bull that is one of the best pit bulls around, or you have a mutt that likes to run into walls and almost jump over fences and get hit by cars. Which one would you pick? The
I
pit
mean,
bull.
my dog is basically the mutt, so I'll probably take the mutt.
Well, the mutt's Oakland, and they're trash. So that's why I picked the strong pit
Wow.
bull in Chicago.
That hurts, yo. You talking about my dog like that, yo?
Jeez.
Well, I hate your dog. I hate your dog. Make sure
Okay,
that
all
you
right.
know.
We get it. You
I'll
ate my
put that
dog.
on a
I hope he
shirt.
bites you.
I hate your. He does bite me. I mean, that's like you don't have to wish for that. He
All right.
does.
Never
He
been
can do it.
All right.
Yeah, screw Bo.
I'm honestly.
He's going to take the Raiders. Watch.
This is in London.
Yeah, so it's not a home game
Doesn't
for
matter
either
if
of
it's
them.
in London.
This game is in London.
Okay.
I think so. It says at the Raiders, but the Raiders don't play at home until November, so I'm guessing it's at London.
So they got screwed up the home game by the NFL.
Yeah, so I think so. I'm not sure. It doesn't say here, but I'm going to take Chicago. I think Khalil Mack, my bold take of the week. Khalil Mack gets 3 sacks, a forced fumble, and a touchdown this week. I think he wants to make a point that they shouldn't have traded him, should have paid him the money, and they were idiots to do it. And I think, honestly, Chase Daniel looked good last week. I think he might be a better quarterback than Mitchell Trubisky, but let's just keep that on the down low. I think he's better in that system than Mitchell. Oh, that's going to raise a fire in some people. So I think he's going to have a good game against this Oakland defense that is subpar. And Derek Carr had a really good week last week. I don't think Oakland's a bad team. I just think that they're not good enough for this challenge just yet. So Sunday Night Football, the Colts at Kansas City. Peyton, we got to hurry up a little bit really quick. Who are you taking, Colts or Chiefs?
The Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes throws for 450 yards.
Oh, wow. Okay. Frac?
Kansas City.
Kansas City. Okay. I'm also going with Kansas City. I don't think it's even close. I think Pat Mahomes is the most talented quarterback we've ever seen since Aaron Rodgers, maybe even better than Aaron Rodgers. Vikings, New York Giants, Peyton.
I'm going to take the Vikings. I don't think the Giants offense is capable of beating that defense. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Obviously, Kirk Cousins has played very poorly lately, but I think that they'll fix some things this week. I think they're going to run the ball a lot more, and the Vikings will get the win.
Frac?
I hate to say it, but my upset for this week will be New York.
Danny died.
New York's going to win this game just because of how bad Kirk Cousins has been playing, and he's going to have a worse game. He's going to have 4 picks this game.
Oh, wow. Against this New York Giants defense. You know what, Frac? I like it, and I'm going with it too. I'm also taking the Giants. I'm on the Danny Dimes hype train. I think Kirk Cousins is going to struggle, and I think they're just a mess with all this drama with Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen and Kirk Cousins. They might come out and make a statement. I could see that happening too. Maybe Kirk Cousins tries to prove a point that he deserved the money even though he's playing against the Giants. But I think they're going to run the ball a lot, and they're saying Saquon might play. So let's see what happens with that. Falcons, Texans, Peyton.
I'm going with Houston. Atlanta's been struggling all year. Their defense has looked terrible. Matt Ryan, he's up there in pass yards. They just need to play better, and I think Dan Quinn needs to go. I think it's his time. So yeah,
boy from Salisbury.
I'm taking Houston.
Boy from Salisbury, though.
He's not doing well.
Frac, Texans or Falcons?
Texans.
Any reason?
I
Just
don't know.
I just like them.
I don't know. I just like them.
Okay.
Was a tough loss.
I'm gonna go with the Texans too. They had a tough loss last week against Carolina. They've been up and down this year, but they really need to turn on right now. And I think they do that against Atlanta. Atlanta
Are the
sucks.
Falcons
Let's
still?
be
Are you?
honest. No, the Falcon. I picked
Not
the Falcons to go to Super Bowl. Let's
so did I.
laugh. Let's laugh. I thought
I
they'd
did
be
too. It's
good. I
okay.
thought their defense was going to be good. I was wrong. Let's just get past that. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, laugh.
So this one is honestly my game of the week: Bucks versus Saints. Peyton.
This is my hot take. I think Jameis Winston and the Bucks ride this wave that they've been on. Putting up 50 plus on the Rams. They go into the Superdome, and they get a big division win against the Saints.
Wow, that's a hot take. That's a real hot take. Frac.
I'm going to pick the Buccaneers as well. I feel like Jameis Winston's going to have a very, very good game again, and Bruce Arians is still proving us that he's the QB whisperer.
Wow. I'm the lone wolf here. I'm going with the Saints. I think that defense is really going to humble Jameis Winston this week. And they're just going to keep doing what they've been doing and go 3-0 with Teddy Bridgewater. Bills, Titans, Peyton.
I'm going Buffalo. They played the Pats really well last week. Just came down to a few plays. I think they're going to – are they on the road?
The Titans are
in
at
Tennessee,
home.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think they'll go into Tennessee and get the win. I think the Bills have a very good team. They just need to fix a few things, and I think they could. I think they could make a run for the wild card this year, honestly. So, I'm taking Buffalo.
Buffalo. Josh Allen's going to have a really good game against Tennessee. And we were so close with our prediction about the Bills beating the Pats. I'm so
Bills play a good game. Bless you. I'm also going with the Bills. I think their defense is better. I think overall their team's good, and they played the Pats really well. Josh Allen really needs to figure it out. He hasn't been good this year. He hasn't really shown me that he's progressed as a passer at all. And all honesty, maybe he should play running back. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm taking the Bills. I think Josh Allen starts to get a groove, and I think they run a lot with Frank Gore and company. He had a really good game last week, and I think that they have a comfortable win against the Titans. Cardinals, Bengals, this might be a snooze fest, but
oh my God.
very winless, so somebody's got to get a win.
Arizona?
Oh,
yeah, I'm taking Kyler Murray and the Cards. I think Kyler Murray gets his first win.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm going with Arizona too. Kyler Murray gets his first win, and the Bengals don't have John Ross, A.J. Green. I mean, there's nobody on this offense, no offensive line. Joe Mixon is the best that they got, and Andy Dalton is going to be out of the job out.
Kirk Cousins.
So the Patriots get another free win, right? They play the Redskins. Are we all saying? Do we all agree? Does the jury agree?
Yeah, I'm taking the Pats.
Yeah, they're 5-0. It's rough times going. Their next 3 games are really garbage. Broncos, Chargers.
Chargers.
Take Joe.
No, the Broncos have been in some close games. The Chargers, they haven't looked fantastic.
Take Joe.
I'm going to go with the Broncos. Flacco's going to get his first win as a Bronco.
Yeah, I'm going with the Broncos too. I think that their defense turns up a little bit, and they lost Bradley Chubb, but I think Von Miller's going to eat this week. He needs to. And I think that the Broncos win by a game-winning field goal this time instead of losing by a game-winning field goal by a Flacco game-winning drive. So 2 more games. Packers, Cowboys, Peyton.
Oh, that's a good one.
Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott.
That's a really good game. I'm going with Green Bay. I think everybody knows their history against the Cowboys. I think they're going to keep it going against them this weekend, especially after that loss to Philly. I think they're going to fix some things this week in practice. And they're on the road, aren't they? They're going to Dallas?
Yeah, they are going to Dallas.
Yep. So I think they'll go into Jerry World, and they're going to get a big win to prove that they are the top team in their division.
Yes, sir. Hey, Frac, what do you got?
I hate to say this as well.
Hey, you're not being biased, so I give it to you.
I'm not. I think the Cowboys are going to bounce back. I mean, Zeke is not going to have 35 yards again. He's going to have a lot more yards. Dak is probably going to have a better game. I feel like Omari will probably have a better game as well. I feel like they're going to bounce back. Well, it's going to be a close game, but I feel like it's the Cowboys who come at the end.
I think Dallas has a better defense. I think Green Bay was exposed last week. I think they have a terrible rushing defense, and nobody's talking about it. So I say Zeke goes for over 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's another hot take. And I think Dak also bounces back this week after playing a good Saints defense. All right, last game, and then we're almost done. Browns 49ers. Peyton.
49ers. They got the best defensive football right now. They're at home. And I think Jimmy G goes for 3 touchdowns, 325 yards.
Something slight. Hey, Frac.
49ers.
Just like them.
Yeah. They got red in their uniforms.
They bloods, huh? All right.
Yeah. Whoa. We're not. No. Don't say that we're part of the blood. 6-9 will get us so fast. You're going to take it to the big podcast.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm going with the 49ers. 3 reasons. Best defense in football. Reasons. Best D-line in football.
Okay.
Off a bye week, and they're at home. They're a much better team at home, and Jimmy G lights them up. I got the 49ers. Really quick before we end this, Peyton, big baseball fan. We are all baseball fans here. Haven't talked much about it. I know Peyton's been praying. Peyton, who goes to the World Series? We got to do this really quick. We've gone over an hour. But who goes to the World Series and who wins it and why?
Astros come out of the AL, the Braves come out of the NL, and the Astros are going to win in 6 games. Their starting pitching is just from top to bottom, especially in the playoffs. You had Zach Greinke, Justin Verlander, and Garrett Cole, 3 of the best pitchers in the game. Their lineup is incredible. Alex Bregman, possible MVP this year. I think Mike Trout will win it in the AL again, but I'm taking the Astros in 6 games against the Atlanta Braves.
Frac, World Series.
I have the Astros coming out of the American League, Braves coming out of the National League, but I feel like Houston.
The Braves.
What did I say?
I don't know. I thought you said like something else. I don't know.
I said Atlanta Braves, right? I definitely. Yeah. So I'll pick Houston at actually 7. I feel like the Braves are going to show up. It's going to be a very competitive series, but at the end of the day, their pitching, Houston's pitching will overcome.
I'm a loser. I'm gonna take the 2 number 1s. The 2 number 1 seeds, the Astros and the Dodgers. I think they're
boo. You suck.
It's so boring. I know. Best 2 teams in baseball.
Such a loser.
The Astros have.
Hey, that'd be a great series.
Hey,
my God!
Astros have the best pitching in baseball, not even close. The Dodgers have a stacked lineup. It's going to be a great series, but I am taking the Astros, and I think Verlander wins the MVP. I think he has another phenomenal series in the World Series, and I think that maybe he wins the Cy Young this year. So that's it for Take It to the Bank. Peyton, my good buddy, our social media enthusiast now, running our page. Look for this weekend our hot takes for $60 to buy either Madden or 2K or whatever you want. I'll Venmo you the money. You can use it on a stripper if you want. Whatever you want to use it for.
Whoa.
It's up to you. I'm not a judgy person. But thanks, Peyton, for running our stuff, and thanks for being on.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all.
All right. And Frac, once again, my good buddy, as always, good seeing you. Love you guys, and see you next week, and bless up.
What's up?
Stepping up to the plate like where the batter at. You talking numbers, hold up where your data at. You making claims, I'ma need some stats for that. Boy, don't get foul cause we ain't playing hack a shack. You said you wanna hear some sports talk. Well, if that's really what you wanna do, then you at the right place. Stick around, get comfortable, and don't you tell me that you ain't. Cause it's Take It to the Bank, all facts, cause that's what it has to be. No cap like the MLB salary. Take it to the